Welcome back. Today I'm going to do Puzzle Rush Survival on chess.com. But first I'm going to take a look at my Lichess Rapid game from last night, and I'm pretty sure it won't take too long because I won the game, and I think the game review said I only had one mistake. So I'm going to check here if you scroll down it. Yeah, I just had one mistake, but I went ahead fairly early, so I'm just going to go back real quick and see if I understood everything that happened here. Looks like my opponent and I both had inaccuracies on move 6, but then my opponent blundered on move 11 and never got it back. So let's just go here. I'm going to go to move 6 and see what the inaccuracy was. My opponent's inaccuracy was playing e4. Oh, it looks like I can just take it, right? That's what I should have done, is just take it. No. Wow. Good thing I didn't take it because my queen is there. It says my best move is h6 or e5. Oh, because they're trying to come in here, and if I take, they're going to take, and then my knight will be in trouble? Okay. All right, I guess I get e5. h6, they just would have dropped back, and we would have still been in the same situation. And it says I would have played e5 after that. So my inaccuracy was taking here, which gave my opponent an advantage. They took back, and then I played h6, and they did drop back. No, they should have dropped back, but they took, which allows me to take, which now my knight's not in trouble here. Okay, so we went a few more moves until here. I think here my opponent probably guessed what my next move was going to be. I was very strongly considering putting my queen out here, where I could look at both of these pawns. Yes, both of those pawns are currently defended, but that's what I was thinking of doing here, and then developing this. Or maybe they thought I was going to develop the light squared bishop now because they played here, aiming for this, I guess, and also adding a layer of protection to that. Oh, it looks like I should have just played b6, or knight to d7, or rook to d8, which would prevent them from castling long. Not that don't think they were intending to with these pawns like this. That's why I took when I did, because I figured these two separated, pawns would be a problem, but okay, that was inaccurate. Okay, so it wasn't my opponent's blunder that lost them the game. Oh, this is going to take a little longer than I thought. Okay, because we're still between +1 and -1. They played their best move. I played my best move. That's their best move. Not necessarily my best move, but very close, was putting the bishop out here. They should have played queen to c2, I guess lining up this way, or queen to b2. I don't know what queen to b2 would do, and it says in either case I would put a rook on d8. But instead they played here, lining up. Okay, so it was this mistake that lost them the game, not that blunder of queen to b3 earlier. I'm not sure why that was bad or what the problem would have been, even if I had played one of my best moves. But here I did see my best move. I saw that I could defend the bishop while attacking the queen at the same time. And that is the only move that takes advantage of their mistake. So I went after their queen. They did get their queen out. And okay, see, I didn't play the best move here because I knew that they could take. So I decided to let that tension stay for a second, and I put this rook over. They should have taken my bishop, but they didn't. They put this here, which, I mean, that's a free pawn, right? So I took the free pawn. Okay, so we're back to -1. So it must have been another mistake that my opponent made that lost them the game. They took here, I took back, and then that was a mistake because it allowed queen to c5. The knight's running out of places to go. Looks like it doesn't matter whether they go to d4 or b4. They picked that one, and that gives up this pawn here, which I took. So now I'm 2 pawns ahead, and I stayed ahead for the rest of the game. And my opponent made one more blunder at the end, but they were already down -5 at this point. They got out of the way there, which allowed this, of course, and that's where they resigned. You'll notice I made very good use of my time in this game. I only had 3 minutes left at the end. I was down 3 minutes on time, so that tells me I was taking my time and doing the right thing. Okay, that took a little longer than I thought, but I'm glad I won. I'm going to move on because I know it'll probably take a while to do Puzzle Rush, because I'm going to do Survival this time. My top score is 38, and that took more than an hour when I did that last time. So if I get anywhere close to that, it's probably going to take an hour. On my end, I'm going to edit it as short as I can for you guys. All right, let's click play. I don't know why there's a countdown on this one because there is no timer. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is a back rank checkmate. They'll block with the bishop, and I'll take it. All right. Usually the first several are easy. In this case, I think I just take the rook and they have to block with the bishop and then the queen, because I'm not in check, right? Okay. And that is also a back rank checkmate. This is the same thing, except this time, instead of the king being blocked in by its own pawns, it's being blocked in by one pawn and my knight. So they will have to block with the bishop, and then I'll take it. Okay, I am playing with the black pieces, which is confusing, because our kings are on the same rank and there's a white queen way down here for some reason. What was it doing down here? Oh, trying to guide these pawns in, I guess. Well, that's checkmate, is it not? I'm pretty sure that's checkmate. Okay. because my king was guarding the 3 squares that their king needed to move to. All right, here I have a back rank checkmate, I'm pretty sure. I don't see what they can do about it. Oh, they'll end up blocking with the knight. That's what they can do about it. I'll take here. If they block with the knight, then I'll take their rook. But if they take, then I'll take, and I will have picked up a rook. But then they can block with the knight. Oh, but if they block with the knight, I have checkmate here with my queen protected by my bishop. Okay. And oh, it didn't go. They had to block with the knight, didn't they? And it didn't go all the way. All right. Where's my queen? Oh, I have a queen right here. Is that checkmate? No, it's not, because they will be able to move there, but then that'll be checkmate, won't it? I think. Oh, I hope that's right. Yeah, then I don't think they can block this. Okay. Okay, again, I have a knight guarding one of the getaway squares here, so I think I have to check, and it looks like their only legal move at that point would be to take. Then I would take with my rook, and that would be mate. But let's just be sure before I do something silly. I'm not currently in check, and this isn't pinned because my king's not over there. Okay, then I think that's it. The reason I checked to see if I was in check is because in one of my previous videos, I tried to make a move, but I couldn't because it was pinned. And in another one, I tried to make a move, but I couldn't because I was in check. So very embarrassing. This is checkmate, is it not? They don't have anything guarding that square? Okay, I doubt myself, so it takes a while. Pretty sure this is checkmate because my rook is right behind my queen, and I'm not in check, and my queen's not pinned. Okay, I'm off to a pretty good start, but I'm going to try not to get overconfident. If I check with this bishop, is that mate? I think it is. Okay, I'm pretty sure that was checkmate, but I've been wrong so many times. And this isn't checkmate because they can move over, but then I think I will take the bishop and that will be checkmate. My queen's not pinned and I'm not in check. Pretty sure that's it. I'm hesitating but nothing can block that, right? Okay. I'm not in check and my queen is not pinned, so I can go here to f2. I'm trying to practice saying the names of the squares instead of saying here or there. Queen to f2 check forces the king back one, and then queen to f1 check forces the rook to capture, and then that's mate. I'm pretty sure. Because they don't have any other pieces guarding that square or that area even. All right, I'm not sure why they didn't take my queen, but they took something here. Oh, did I check them with a knight or something? Maybe I did. Oh, I have to be careful. Let's see. Because, yeah, my queen is hanging. Oh, I can check them here, and they have to move to g2. Sorry, I can check them on h6. They have to move the king to g2, and then I'll go to h1, which will be mate there. I'm pretty sure. Protected by my rook. Is that the swallow's tail or the dovetail? I think that's the dovetail mate. And I'm pretty sure this is a checkmate in one, because my pawn's guarding that square, and then my queen will be guarding all of those, as well as this one, and my pawn will be protecting my queen. I'm not in check, right? Okay. All right, 14. I am playing with the black pieces, okay. Oh, wow, let's see. If I check here on h2 with the queen, they will take with the rook, which will be bad. If I take with the bishop on h2, it's not check. But if they did take, then I could come get this pawn with check, and they could block with the rook or the queen at that point. Okay, this one's a little more complicated, isn't it? Also, you know, my bishop is currently hanging. Okay, but let's evaluate the checks. I'm pretty sure that one is bad because after they take with the rook, yes, I could take the rook and they'll take my bishop, but I don't have a follow-up check because my rook can't come through here because of this pawn. If I take the rook, I'm pretty sure they're going to take with the queen, and then I don't have a follow-up. If I take the bishop, they could take with the rook, and then I don't have a follow-up. Okay, I'm probably missing something. Now, once they did take back with the rook or the queen, I wouldn't have that pawn because their knight is defending it. Well, that makes me think taking the knight first is a good idea because when they block, then I'll get the pawn with check. Then when they block with the rook, I can check down on f1. And if they block with the rook again, I can check back over here. I'm going to take the knight, but it might be wrong. Oh, it was right. Oh, and they did something unexpected. Well, I'm not sure what to do now. I did not expect that to happen. I expected them to take here. Well, should I put the bishop here then? Should I bring the bishop back to g3, which is a check, and then they could block with the rook. Oh, but if they blocked with the rook, I would take it. Okay. So if they moved out of check, then I suppose I could take the bishop with check, but I would have just picked up an extra piece. Is that it? Okay, I'm pretty sure it's not moving it down there because then they just get that. And I'm pretty sure it's not taking the rook because then they'll get my queen. And I'm pretty sure it's not just taking if I take this pawn, then their rook will be pinned, but then they can get my bishop. Okay, so I think it's bringing the bishop back to g3, but but I don't know. It was. Wow, okay. I want to see the analysis board to see what would happen next because I don't know how I would win that. I am playing with the white pieces. Okay, they've just blocked this check with their knight, so the knight is pinned. That's something to keep in mind. I can check with the rook. Let's look at our checks. I can check with the rook. I mean, sorry, that's the bishop. I can check with my dark squared bishop on g5. I can check with my other rook down here on e1. But if I move my rook, they get the bishop here. But if they get the bishop, then I get their knight with check. Okay, well, let's think about this. What if I check with the bishop first, right? That leaves my light squared bishop still protected by the rook. Then, so my light squared bishop then is cutting off e8 and e6. My dark squared bishop would be cutting off this diagonal. So they would only have two choices at that point. If they went to their back rank, then I would check here and they would have to block with their knight and I would take it, I think. But what if they came out this way, right? If I checked with the dark squared bishop on g5 and they came out to d6, then I don't know what's next. Okay, what are my other checks? This check, they take that bishop. But then I take their knight and they're in check and my rook on the e-file is cutting off all of this. That rook's cutting off here. But that would leave them with 1, 2, 3, 4 choices. Oh, I can check with the knight. Oh, then the pawn will take it. Well, that's not great, is it? Oh, speaking of the knight. Okay, so if I checked here and they came out, which I think they would, because if they went back, it would be mate. Then I would have a check with the knight here. Oh, and would that be mate? Because the light squared bishop would be cutting off these. The knight would be cutting off those two. The pawn's cutting off this. They couldn't escape there because of that rook. Okay, so maybe it's that then. Oh, and it stopped, even though I'm pretty sure they had a legal move. And I took a lot of time on that, I know, but that's the way some of these go. I am playing with the white pieces. Okay, I have a check here, because that's what we got to start with, right, is checks. I can take on b7 with my light squared bishop. That's check, protected by the king. They can't come here because of my king and dark squared bishop. They would have to go up to a7. Then I would put the dark squared bishop down there on b8, and that would be mate because they can't come out because of this. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's mate with two bishops, but again, it switches to the next puzzle, so you don't really have a chance to look at it after it's done. These are the complicated ones that I do not like. Okay, what do I have? I have a hanging bishop. It looks like we're even on material right now, so if I take the bishop, it's just free, and I'm threatening their queen, so I assume they would move the queen, but to where? I don't know. But wherever they moved the queen, I think I could just put the knight back here where it is, couldn't I? Because let's see, do I have any hanging pieces? That's not really hanging, the pawn's protecting it. But we should look for checks first. That's not a check. That's not a check. I cannot check with this knight. Of course, the pawn's not close enough to check. That's not a check. Nor is it threatening a check from up there. Not a check. Not a check. I don't have any checks in this position, so I'm going to take the bishop because it's free. Oh, and they moved over there. Well, it doesn't make sense to do anything except come back, does it? Because I don't want to go there. I'll lose the knight. I'll lose the knight. Those are my only other options. So I should go back to d6. Unless I have some other tactic here. I mean, I suppose I could protect it with the bishop. I don't know why I would, though. It makes sense to just put it back. Oh, they took this bishop. Why, though? So I could just take it? Did they have anything else hanging? What? Why? I don't know why it continued to that point. I have no idea. All right, I think that is... It's not mate because they can block with the bishop or the knight. But when they block with the knight, I get their rook. So I think I check here with my bishop on b5. When they block with the bishop, I take it with check. If they take back with the queen, then the knight's free. And if they take back with the knight, then the rook is free. So I think either way I pick up a piece on this deal. Unless they block with the queen. If they block with the queen, I'm taking it for the bishop. Oh, they took with the bishop. Okay, I'm going to take that and then get their knight for free. Think. Okay. Well, I'm halfway to my all-time record in this situation, and I haven't missed one yet, but there's been a couple I haven't been sure about. And now we're above 1,000 on the puzzle ratings. Okay, it looks like my rook had just checked their king, and they have moved out of check. What checks do I have here? I can check with the rook, but it looks like they would take it for the pawn, and I can check with the queen a bunch of different ways, but they all look like I would just lose my queen. Do I have any captures? Ooh, I can check right here. Is that mate? Oh my goodness. Because the queen's protecting the pawn and nothing else is guarding that square. My queen's cutting off this. Their pawn and knight are in the way here. And my rook's cutting off all of that. Oh wow, it took me a while to see that, but I think h5 is checkmate. That was nice. Okay. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed that if that comes up in a game, I'll see it. All right, what do we have here? Do I have any checks? I do have, oh, that's mate. Wow, because that pawn is pinned and they've boxed in their king. That's why we look for checks, because if I hadn't looked for checks and I just said, oh, what piece can I take? I don't know what to do. Should I try to develop? It would have taken forever, but because the checklist, we look for checks first. That is a check. They can't take back because my queen is here and no other piece is defending d6 and their king can't move. Very nice. Smothered mate with the help of a pin. Okay, now we have a pin going on here as well. This pawn is pinned, so I can check here safely. But that forces the king back where I don't have, yes, I do have another check at that point, which they can only block with the queen, but my knight in its new position will be guarding f7, so my queen can take and that'll be mate. Oh, and it stopped, even though I figured all that out and it just stopped, even though they had a legal move. I'm pretty sure, because I don't think I had a bishop in the corner guarding that square that they could move to. Okay, black to move. That means my pawns are going this way. So this pawn's hanging. So if I, check with the rook, they could take that pawn. Well, let's say I didn't. Let's say I checked with the rook and they took that pawn. Then the knight's hanging. But then I can fork their king and rook. Is that their only legal move if I go here? No, they can come over. Oh, and then they can promote this one here pretty quick. Okay. My knight is cutting off g5 and f6. So I think their only choices would be f7 at that point, in which case I still have the knight fork with their rook, or h6. What do I play if they play h6? Well, maybe that's not it, since h6 is a possibility. Like from there, I couldn't check them with the knight. I couldn't check them with the rook. They would be in front of their own pawn, but that's probably okay, because I think they're going to wiggle in here pretty quick and get a promotion. If they went to h6, I suppose I could go ahead and attack the rook, see where it moved, and then I could checkmate them here. Is that good? Okay, let's try it. Oh, it took the pawn. Okay, that gives me the fork then, I think. Okay, well, I worried about h6 too long, but I'm pretty sure on h6 I just would have attacked the rook, it would have run away, and then I would have checkmated them, I think. Okay, wait, am I in check? I'm not in check. Isn't that just checkmate? I think taking on h3 is checkmate. Oh, wow, it gave me a really easy one after a couple of hard ones. My rook's under attack, so that makes me want to move it, but I also look for checks. That's my only, no, that's not my only check. I have a check over here, but that looks bad. So I'm not going to play that one. I want to play this one, but that forces them out, but then I can check behind them because my light squared bishop is guarding g8, and then their only legal move would be to come up to f6, where I could check them with my other rook. Oh no, they can't come to h6 because of the pawn. Oh, wait, let's back up. Okay, so check here. They have to come up to g7, and then I check with the rook on g8, protected by the light squared bishop, and that's mate. Okay. Very nice. Good thing I saw that pawn. Ooh, they've attacked my bishop, and I don't yet have mate, because even though my bishop is defending because their queen is guarding that square. Well, what if I just take the bishop? I know it's not a check, but my checks look bad, right? If I take here, I think they're going to take back with the pawn. Wait, sorry, I don't know. Something popped up there in the menu of my browser, which was distracting. Oh, I get distracted way too easily, don't I? I need to learn how to focus, or maybe take one of those drugs that helps the kids focus. I'm kidding. I don't want to take any of those. Okay, let's look at checks. Sorry, stick with the checklist. That's a check. It looks like it just loses a queen. I think they would, it probably doesn't matter what they take with, but yeah, that just looks like it loses a queen. Checking on h3 also looks like it loses a queen, but then I have this check, and the king can't move because of my other bishop, so they would have to block with the queen, and I would take that too, and then they would take my bishop, but we would have just come out even then. And checking here just loses a queen. Okay, so back to this. This isn't a check, but it is a capture, and it's my only, oh well, I mean, that's a capture too, but I'm not considering that. I don't think. If I take the bishop, what do? I think they take back. Because if they don't take back, then I have mate, right? If I take the bishop, if they leave the pawn there, then that pawn is pinned by my bishop, and I take this with check. They have to block with their queen, and I take it protected by my other bishop, and that's mate. But if they take with the pawn, then I take here with check, unprotected by their g-pawn, then they have to block with the queen, and that's mate. Like so. Oh, and they didn't block with the queen. Okay. Okay, this video's already gone on over 30 minutes. I've got to stop the recording and then start a new video. Otherwise, my editor just won't be able to handle the sheer size of this video file. That is a downside of having a not really expensive computer and using free editing software. It's good software, but if the video file is over a certain amount, it'll fill up my RAM and the editing will go really slowly and the program will crash every now and then. So I try to keep my files fairly small. Black to move. Do I have any checks? I actually do have a check. I have a check right there. I said right there. I have a check with queen capturing on d4, but that pawn is defended. It does look like I have a knight though. Let's see. Sorry. I got off my checklist. Let's go back to the checklist. Is that my only check? Yes. And it looks like I just lose a queen and then a pawn afterwards. But what if I take this bishop first? Because we're on to captures now. I have multiple captures. If I take the knight on e5, they could take back. I don't know if they will, but they could. You know what they might do? If I take this knight, I think they'll take my bishop first because the bishop's hanging, right? So that's what makes me think the bishop's hanging two ways right now. But if I take the knight, I think they take the bishop. And then I could take this pawn with check, but they just move over and I've only gone up a pawn. That's what makes me want to take the knight. Sorry, that's what makes me want to take the bishop first, because then when I assume they'll take back with the queen on e2, and then I get this pawn with check, and when they move out of check, I get the knight too. But I could be doing that in the reverse order, and they might have something else that I'm not thinking of, but I'm going to take the bishop first. Oh, that was right. Well, it's got to be this pawn, right? It's not here because they just get that. It's got to be the pawn. Oh, and oh, I thought they were going to move the king out of check. This gives me the knight basically without endangering their queen. Because I thought their queen was going to be guarding that spot, but their bishop got in the way, so maybe that made it simpler, or maybe the other way I had more choices. Okay, I have a piece in danger. I'm not in check. I don't have a mate, but is that my only check? No, it's not. This is a check, and this is a check. Wait, that's mate in two, isn't it? Because that pawn is pinned, so they can't take it. The king has to move over, and then that's mate. Oh, and it stopped. Even though there's only one legal move, the king has to move over. Oh my. Okay, I'm guessing I have something here besides just taking the bishop, because my bishop's defended. And the last time in a puzzle that my bishop was defended and I took, the puzzle said, no, you should have just left it there because it's safe and done something else. What should I have done? Should I have attacked the other bishop with this pawn? Because that's my only check, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I could castle. That's what I would do in a game here. Pretty sure. Either take the bishop or castle. I would probably take the bishop first and then castle. But I'm guessing it wants me to leave the bishop there and challenge the other bishop with this pawn, which will be defended by the queen. So that bishop will have to go back in its hole on f8, which prevents them from castling. And then what would I do? Check? Oh, and they would have to block with the queen and the pawn's guarding that. Okay, I'm going to do that. Oh, they took that. Should I take here? Oh no, then they'll get a queen trade. Oh, I don't know. They just went up a piece. I could take back, but then they get this pawn, and then we have to do a queen trade. And if I march the pawn forward, they can take that any number of ways. Oh, but when I take here, it's protecting the pawn. Oh, and that was it. It was just an even trade. And they're going to put the bishop back, and nobody's won yet. Oh my. Queen, rook. Do I have checks? I do have checks. This check looks like it just gives up a queen, and then I do not have any safe follow-ups. I also have checks here and here on B7 and C6. C6 looks bad because I think they could just take my queen there. So what if I checked on B7? They have to move up, and then that's mate. Then that's good, right? What else can they do? Can they block it? Yeah, they can. Oh, but I would just take that. And then they could block with the queen first for that matter, but I would take that. If they blocked with the knight, I would take that. And if they blocked with the rook, I would take that. Then they would still have to move there, and that would still be mate. So I think it's queen to B7. Oh, they did block with the queen. But they didn't block with the other ones. Oh, come on. They ruined all the fun. I am playing with the black pieces. Okay. Well, let's see if we have any checks. No, and my king's in the way of checking with the other pawn, but their king is trapped. My king's covering these squares. My pawn's covering G3. So could I mate by coming around this way? What would they play if I played rook to B1, aiming for H1 mate? I suppose they would push this pawn forward, but that doesn't help because my bishop is pointed through there. And then that would be mate. Do they have any other recourse? Pushing this pawn wouldn't help because it would just block the escape. I would still checkmate on H1. Pushing this pawn doesn't help. I would still checkmate on H1. They can't check me because they have the wrong colored bishop and my king is safer than their king. I'm going to play rook to b1, hoping for mate. Oh, they blocked with the rook. And it didn't keep going. What is this with not letting me get the one, I had what, one more move till checkmate? Oh, come on. All right, I need to focus. It's getting hard to focus. Let's look for checks. I have so many checks in this position. Oddly enough, the first one that I noticed was pushing the d pawn to d3, which is a revealed check by this bishop. I think the problem with that is that it lets the king go back and get away. So I think I have to check another way first. In fact, this is really similar to either a game or another puzzle that I had within the last month. And I think in that one, what I did play was d3. Couldn't have been a game because I don't chase kings out like that in games lately. In fact, why did they come there? Did I put a piece there? Maybe I took something with the pawn and they took it. I don't know. Okay, well, let's evaluate every single check. While we're on pawns, I have h4 check, which they could just take. Wait, how bad am I at chess? The bishop's just hanging. I'm so bad at chess. I can check by taking the bishop, and then they can't go back there. They have to go to one of these two places. Okay, so I should evaluate this check first and just ignore the pawns for a second. They only have 2 legal moves. If they went back to h6, then d3 would, I think, be mate. Okay, so what if I captured the bishop with my queen on f5 and they came to h4? Then I think it would be mate to play g6. I almost said g6, g3. I told you that I switch back and forth from black to white, so it's hard to remember. That's the 3rd rank over here. Okay, so I think I just take the bishop then. I think maybe that's what I missed the last time I had something very similar to this. Please let it be taking the bishop. Oh, and it stopped. Oh, overthinking is my specialty. I mean, I can take the bishop, but I assume they'll take back with the queen. Whatever I do, I don't want to push this pawn because they will win my queen. I could threaten checkmate here if they weren't currently attacking that bishop. Do I have any checks? Let's start with checks. That's the checklist. If I take there, they just capture. Oh, it is that. I should have started with checks like I normally do, because if they move over, then that's mate. If they move over the other, well, they can't move over the other way because my queen's here. So they'll take the queen, and then I'll check with my rook, and they'll have to go back to where they are, and then in the corner is mate. It let me go all the way to mate that time. Very nice. Oh, and I have 33. I'm only 5 away from my record, and I haven't missed any yet. Where's their king? Where's my rooks and queen? Okay. All right, I do have checks. I have a check with this rook. I think that's the only checks I have with my rook, and I have 2 different checks with my queen. So let's say, what do they play if I check with the rook on c7? They could take, or they could get out of check. If they get out of check, I think obviously it would be mate with the queen down to a7, protected by the rook, right? Okay, so I don't think they'll move the king. I think they'll take with the rook on c7. If they did that, then I check with the other rook on c7, protected by the pawn, and they don't have any more pieces covering that square, so they have to move to the back rank, and then I checkmate with my queen on a7. So I think that's it. They did take. And then that's mate, is it not? 34. Okay, I felt like the last couple were easier than I've had sometimes on these Puzzle Rush survivals. And I don't think it's because I'm getting better, although I mean, I think I'm getting better, but I don't think that's why they were easier. I think I just got some easier puzzles. But that happens sometimes. I've done this twice in a row before on the same day. And like one time it'll just give me really tough puzzles at about 600 and I'll fail out. And then the next time I'll have really easy puzzles well into 20 something. You know, up here I'm in the 1800s now. But I am going to use a checklist that I almost forgot on several of these puzzles because I've noticed all the puzzles that I've missed in the past several weeks, it's because I strayed from the checklist. So let's look at checks first. What checks do I have, if any? I have a check here. Queen captures on g1. That only leaves them 1 legal move, which is taking with the king. And then I could check with my rook on e1, which leaves them 1 legal move, which is coming out to f2. Then I could check on f1, protected by the light squared bishop, and I think that's mate. So backing up, that's my only check in this position, so I might as well evaluate it thoroughly and make sure that I've got it. But this only leaves them 1 legal move, correct? There's nothing else that can capture there. So they take back. Then I check with the rook on e1. They can't block that because their queen can't curve around there, their knight can't drop straight back. That leaves them only 1 legal move, which is coming out to f2. Then because of where my light squared bishop is, I can check on f1, so they can't go back to the back rank because my rook covers the entire back rank. They can't stay where they are, they can't block because we're right next to each other, they can't come over to the e-file because the light squared bishop's covering that square. Wait, it's getting hard to see, but my queen's not going to be there, so they could come out this way. Okay, let me look at that again. check here. They come out. I check here. Yeah, they can come here out to e3. Oh, then it starts getting complicated. Then what do I do? I keep feeling like it's the queen sacrifice, but I'm missing something. Okay. Wait, I think I just solved it. Okay, I was doing this in the wrong order. Okay, go back to the original plan of taking this. When they take back, check with the bishop. They can't come out any further because my two bishops will be cutting off both of those, and they won't be able to block with anything except the queen, so they'd have to go back, and then this will be mate. Okay, that's it. Check with the bishop. Please be this. It was that. Oh my goodness. Oh my, that was exhausting. And that was only 1852. All right, let's go back to this. What do we have? We have a checklist. That's what we have. I'm going to focus on the checklist. I have a check with this, with the queen to a4, which they can't block with the bishop because they put their own pawn in the way. Queen to a4 check. They can only move or block with the queen. Those are their only legal choices. If they block with the queen, then I guess I could just get this pawn, but I don't know how great that would be. But then they could take this and mess up my pawn structure. Oh, no. I check with the queen. They block with their queen. I take their queen. They have to take with their king. Then I check them with my knight and win this bishop. Pretty sure. Yep. Check and win the bishop. Oh, there's more. I didn't know there was going to be more. I guess go in here. Is that a good outpost square? Because they're attacking my knight, so I should go to e5? Probably. Oh, now it's over. Oh, and I'm only 2 away. I'm getting close to my hour being up that I had allotted for this. Black pieces. Let's see. Their king can't move because of all these pawns. Oh no, their king can go over there. But my rook and pawns are doing a lot of work here, but they can go back in there. Is there a way I can keep them from going back in there? What if I put this rook here, preparing to play this check with the pawn? What do they play? Oh, they would check me? I don't know where I would go then. That's what I want to play. I want to play rook to g1 to keep their king from going in there. What could they do? They could push this pawn forward, but I guess I could take it. Oh no, I would just take it with my pawn. Oh no, then the rook would be undefended. Wow. Yeah, if they pushed that forward, I would take it. After putting my rook on g1. So I'm thinking if I put my rook on g1, hoping for this mate, they would start checking me. If they checked me, then I would have a whole lot of options to get out of check. And I don't know which one would be best. I would like to think I would come toward them, but I don't know. What else do I have besides this? Do I have any actual checks? I can check with the pawn now, but then they just go in there. If I don't put the rook there first, right? Then they're in there. Then what do I play? Oh, goodness. And they're only 3 moves from promoting, so I can't do some complicated thing where I line up the rooks here trying to checkmate them that way, because they're going to promote. If I check them now, which I think that's my only safe check right now, I think that kind of forces them in there, and then I don't know what to do. Oh boy. Well, this puzzle should be rated about 2,000, so it makes sense that it would be difficult. Okay. I'm going to do it. Okay, that wasn't it. We'll find out at the end. I had no idea. I tried. There must have been something that I missed. Okay, this one I do not have any checks. Do I have any captures? No, I don't have any captures, not one. What about threats? Is their rook trapped? If I attack it with b6, they can slide in here and then I can't do anything about it. Yes, I can. Yeah, I think the rook's trapped. That's got to be what it is. If I play b6, you know, my pawns are covering all of these squares and their knight's in the way of getting out that way, so they would have to come down, and then I put the knight back on its home square and their rook is trapped. Yeah, I can't get close to their king, so it's not about checking. I'm pretty sure it's that. Okay, and then this. Oh, they took the pawn. Okay, oh, well, I didn't expect that. Well, I'm going to get the rook and the knight because I take the rook. Oh, yeah, they were going to take my rook, and then I would take their rook with my other rook. And I would have a rook and a knight for a rook and a pawn. It doesn't seem like a huge advantage, but obviously having an extra piece would come in handy later in the game. And with that one, we did cross the 2,000 rating range, so we're at 2,002 now, which is pretty difficult area of puzzles. But I just have to get 1 more to tie my all-time best, and 2 more to win. Not win, but get my new all-time best. Oh wow, they've got a bunch of attacky things coming down here. All right, checks. I have multiple checks with the queen, but those 2 look pretty bad, right? If I check on h6, their king can just capture, and if I check on h5, their pawn can capture. What if I check on the g6, with the queen protected by the rook? Only 1 legal move is for the king to go back, and then I would slide right here with my queen I can't put my rook over on the H file because their rook on the F1 would just take my rook. So I have to bring my queen to the H file, leaving my rook guarding the empty G file. They'd have to block with their queen, which I would just take, and that's mate. I think, can it be that easy at the 2000 level? Do they have any other legal moves if I check on G6 with the queen? No, that's too close. You can't block between those two squares, right? Only one legal move. Then what can they play when I check with the queen on H5? I wouldn't want to check on H6 because their queen would just take, right? And I wouldn't want to check with the rook because their rook would just take. So check with the queen on H5. And their king can't move over because my rook is on the cleared G file. So they'd have to block with the queen. That's got to be it. That was really easy for a 2055 rated puzzle. Like that, in my opinion, that puzzle should have been around 1200. I mean, it required a little, backward maneuvering, but, oh, this one looks like a 2000. Start with checks. That's the checklist. I do have a check. They can block it. Does that open up anything? No, I don't think it does. Any other checks? Yes, I have a check here with queen to E6, but I think they would just take it, and that also doesn't open up anything. I have captures. That looks like I just lose a queen for a pawn. I mean, queen for a knight. Any other captures? I could take that knight. Oh, that knight's free. Wait, is nothing guarding that? Oh, no, their queen's guarding that knight. Yikes. Let's see, what am I missing? I'm missing something. What if I check? They go to protect. Wait. I just noticed their knight's guarding that square, so if I took, their king wouldn't have to move. So what if I take this knight first? Their queen takes, I assume, then check with the bishop. Then when they take, block with their bishop on D7, and I take it with check, they have to come out with their king, and then what? All right, I don't know. Do they have any trapped pieces? I mean, again, that's... Do I want their queen to be in a slightly different spot? Whoa, wait. Okay, once this bishop's out of the way, my rook will be guarding here, which if I put my bishop on that square would be skewering the queen through the rook if their queen was over here. Is it that complicated? Okay, we are over 2000. It might be that complicated, trying to go up the exchange. I take the knight first. If they don't take back, then I just got a free piece. So I assume they'll take back. Then check. They come with the bishop. I take it. They don't have to take back, but they probably would. Otherwise, I'm just up a piece. And then I put this bishop here on D4, which skewers the queen through the rook, protected by my rook. That's really complicated, and it's probably wrong, but that's what I'm going to try because I'm almost out of time and have to start my third video. Oh, it was that. Okay, then it's probably this. No, it wasn't. Okay, well, that took care of that. I have tied my all-time best, though. I want to get one more puzzle, so I beat my all-time best. I am playing with the black pieces. All right. Well, I mean, I could check. That's what we need to look for, right? They'll just take it, I assume. Oh, their knight's free. What if I just take their knight? It can't be that easy. Also, they have two rooks and a bishop, and I have... Oh, wow. If I took their knight, they'll still be ahead. You know what I want to do? I want to put my king on F7. I don't know if that's good or not, but this is my idea. Because I can check them if I get two pieces out of the way. I don't know where I should put my king, but let's say I put it on F7. What are they going to do? They might check me, but if they check me, I'll block with the bishop, and that's double check and mate. So what do they play if I put my king on F7, right? I don't think they'll check me with their rook because, again, that's mate. What can they play? They can't check me with the bishop because their pawn's in the way. They can't check me with the knight because that wouldn't be check. Oh, wow. Okay, well, this might be the end, but let's play king to F7. Oh, that was right. Oh, and they moved there. Well, then it's got to be this and this, right? Please let it be that. It was that, and then this is mate. 39, that's a new all-time personal best. Oh, that feels nice. Oh, and this one's already over 30 minutes, so... But I'm going to feel free to mess up the the next puzzles and whatnot because I've already broken my record. What if this one's taking the knight? Or what if it's getting my knight out of danger here and threatening their queen at the same time? I don't know. It's probably not that. Oh, it was that. Oh, now they're threatening my queen. Should I take theirs? If I take theirs and they take mine, I'll get their knight and they'll get my knight and that'll be even. Or should I just move my queen? Where can I move my queen? That's safe. Right here? It'd be protected by my bishop. Oh, but then they're going to promote that pawn and it's going to be protected by the knight. I don't know. I'm going to take their queen. Oh, that was it. Okay. Wait, is there a check? Oh, there is a check. Is there a check? Oh, no, that wasn't it. Because I was trying to keep from losing both my pieces, but that's why I looked for the check. Okay. I didn't care about that one. Oh, wow. That was exhausting. It's been over an hour for me. But real quick, I'm going to check the 3 that I missed just out of curiosity. Does that fit on the screen? Yes. Okay. And this one, they played here, and I played rook to g1, so it probably wasn't that. Was it this check? No. Was it the pawn check? It was the pawn check, and they went back there. See, now I don't know what to do. Yeah, that's what I said they would play if I played the pawn check. So now what? Push the f pawn? What is that? Does that help anything? Can they just take it? Because obviously if they let me go past, it would be mate. So if I pushed the f pawn and they took it, then what? That's why I didn't play this pawn check first, because it looked like I get stuck here. What if I throw away the rook? Can I get something out of that? Then when I check, they just go back in there. I mean, I could push this pawn forward so they don't go anywhere with their pawn, and my pawn will be defended. But that's probably not it. I have no idea though. Yeah, what is it? Hint button. It's lining up both rooks at the back, and that's it. That's not mate. It says mate in 3, but that's not mate. And again, they've taken away the thumbs down buttons that used to be there, so I can't downvote that. I get that I'm about to checkmate, but they're going to check me first, right? Okay, we did this. That was the only move? Oh yeah, it's by far the only move. Okay, that's fine. Rook to g1 isn't even in the top 5. But just out of curiosity, what do they play if I play this? They play h3? Okay. Oh, to protect against this. But what if I played it anyway? Then they play this? Oh, and then if I take it, this rook's hanging. Okay, got it. So I played g4. They have to go back. We already determined that. And then now rook e to e1. And then it's mate in 6. Not mate in 3 like the puzzle said, chess.com. Because they can check me. Right? Like I said. And it says I would just go here, and then they're going to check me, and then I go there. Okay. And now their only move is to check me here and let me take. And then they're going to play h4, but I'll check with my rook, which forces them to h2. And then I'll check here, which forces them to g2. And then this is mate. Okay. It's still a little upsetting that they don't let me vote up the themes or add new themes anymore. Okay. In this one, the opponent played that, and I was right to take it, right? Because I took that and it was correct. And then I checked and that was correct. Oh no, that was incorrect. Oh, what should I have done then? Oh, should I have done this now? And then if they took it, then I would check? Oh. Okay. Well, I understand, I think, but I just out of curiosity, after they play this, it's not a huge advantage. It's only +2, and only if I take the knight. Okay, so I got that part, and it has to be this first, but why though? That's my question. Let's see, bishop to here and there. This is what I want to know. Why didn't it work afterward? Okay, they're going to block with the bishop. I'm going to take the bishop, right? It's my only move. They're going to take it. And then why isn't this great? Because of queen to f5, which I'll take, and they'll take back, and then I'll get their rook, but they'll get my bishop. And I'm up though. Why is it only plus 0.35? Because I've got I'm up in exchange. I mean, obviously the other way I went up a queen for a bishop because they took the bishop, but what if they didn't? Sorry, let's go back. Okay. If I take here, and they take with the queen, which it is their best move to take with the queen. Okay, one difference is here, their rook's undefended. The other way, after the bishop and the king moved, their rook is defended by the other rook, so it's an exchange. Here it's a free piece. So that's why when I play this now, they won't play queen to f5 like they did in the other version, because then when I take their queen and they take back, I get their rook for free. Okay, so that's why I had to play this first, because if they move the queen anywhere, I get their rook for free. And that's why it's their best move to take the bishop, so that when I check, it's not actually their best move to block. It's not even their best move to do what they did in the puzzle. It's their best move to play king to f8. But instead they did this, which allows me to take the queen with the rook. And their best move is to attack it immediately. Oh, that's good. Oh, I didn't see that. Look at that. They're attacking my queen and rook at the same time. What do I play? They're going to get my rook. Look at that. EXD4, EXD4, EXD4. Or if I take the knight now, then bishop's going to get my queen. Oh, but I would still be ahead. I would still be ahead if I took the knight now with the rook and let the bishop have my queen. Oh, because I would take the bishop too? Queen to e2 is my best move. Okay. And they're going to take my rook. Oh, and then I'm going to get the knight for a pawn because it's pinned. But first they're going to come for my bishop. Now run away. And then they're going to go over here to... Nope, it changed its mind. f5. They're going to protect their knight. But then I'm going to take it with the pawn. They're going to take back this way. Wow, that's a horde of pawns coming down through here. What do I got to do? Queen to c4. I'm only up 2 points of material here, and my rook hasn't moved yet, and my king's in an awkward position. It's hard to believe I'm up +5. Yeah, okay. I think I understand the puzzle, but that's going to be a really difficult endgame to win. And the last one was this, where again, I think I got the first move right, which was to attack their queen by getting my knight out of danger. And then it was my best move to take their queen, but they took mine, and then I messed up here. The reason I messed up is because I saw that if I take their knight, they're going to take my knight. And then what? So that's why I looked for a check and I found one. But you know what I did? I moved too quickly. Should I have taken that? Should I have taken that with my knight? Maybe that's it. Maybe I should have taken that with my knight. Or should I just take their knight and let them have mine? Okay, it was taking that pawn then? No. Wow, it's something else. Something else entirely. Well, then I don't know what it is, because if it's not the check that I played in the thing, or it's not taking that pawn safely with my knight to get it out of danger and getting ready for a discovered check, but the discovered check wouldn't be that important because they would put their knight back to aim at the bishop, and it's not taking their knight, then what is it? Is it attacking here with my rook aiming at their bishop? No. Okay, wow, I was going to fail this puzzle no matter what I played. It was taking their free knight. Oh, and then it would have stopped, even though they would get out with their knight. Okay, so I got this part, and I failed to see that the other knight was free. All right, I got it. I still have to be really careful about this pawn, though, because I'm just going to guess that their best move is to put that knight up to protect the promotion square right here at the end. Their best move is knight to d3, protecting the promotion square and attacking my bishop. Wait, and it says my best move is to take this with the rook. Okay, that way if they take my bishop, I get their bishop, and I will be guarding this. Okay, I wouldn't have guessed that. I probably would have taken here, but that's not even one of the top 5. Oh, wow. Why not? Is it because they'll promote? No, because they're in check. But they just move over and they're fine, and my best move is to take this pawn. I probably wouldn't, but I mean, I'm up 4 points of material, so maybe I would, but I have to be really careful down here, okay? So my best move is to take there with the rook, which puts their bishop in danger, and they're still going to move their king, okay? So they're going to move their king, and then I'm just going to pick up their bishop? No, I have to play knight to d7. Oh, because their bishop's defended right now. Oh, wow. I don't know that I would find all that. Also, I'm tired. My brain is tired from just doing puzzles for more than an hour now. Yeah, I would probably end up losing that game too. But anyway, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for supporting my channel and for being here. I'll see you next time.